All right, Michael Wacha, he is a Kansas City Royal, a 2-year deal, $16 million a year, $32 million in total. And you might be like, that sounds familiar to what the Padres could have offered Michael Wacha. Or actually not offered, but guaranteed that he would return to the San Diego Padres. And you're correct. Like, he had club options. And it was simultaneous. The Padres, they had the opportunity to bring Waka back 2 years, $32 million, $16 million each year, and I don't think there was any opt-out. With the Royals here, he gets an opt-out, so you could argue that this might be even a better deal for Michael Wacha, because what if he has an amazing year next year, or he doesn't like it with Kansas City and he can get out of it with the Padres? He would have had to stay with the Padres for these next 2 years. Maybe some are like, man, A.J. Preller should have signed Michael Wacha. What the heck is he doing? But I believe my viewpoint at the time when this happened was, hey, $16 million for Michael Wacha, I think he's probably worth a little bit less than that. There's the injury history. I think it's okay to not give him the club option. It makes sense. You can take that risk in free agency. If he goes somewhere else, gets more money, he ends up getting more money. I wanted Seth Lugo back. Now, $15 million a year, the Padres didn't want to give him that. They didn't want to give him as much guarantee. They offered 4 years, but not as much guarantee money as the Royals. So now Waka and Lugo get to go to Kansas City. It's kind of like the San Diego Royals now. They've got Renfroe, they've got Jordan Lyles, Edward Olivares. They've got, obviously, Waka and Lugo now. I think I might be forgetting one other guy. But yeah, it's this Waka, him going to the Royals, I'm not like super sad about it. Like, sure, you want the extra arm. You want Michael Wacha in your rotation if you can get it, but there is that injury question. That shoulder, the Padres know him better than I think the Kansas City Royals do because they just had him on their team for the entire year. So I'm trusting that the Padres didn't really like what they were seeing there from Michael Wacha. They didn't want to take that risk. But Nick Martinez is gone. Michael Wacha, gone. Seth Lugo, gone. Blake Snell is going to be gone. We know Josh Hader is definitely gone. So that's a lot of innings that they have to replace. And what have they done? How have they replaced those guys? With Michael King, who I like. Drew Thorpe, who isn't even in the big leagues yet. We'll see if he can come up in 2024, but that's not replacing anyone on the big league roster right now. Randy Vasquez, okay. Johnny Brito, okay. They can start a little bit if you need them to. Kind of hybrid role. But look at these guys that were rotation guys, right? Waka, Lugo, Snell. They've replaced one of those guys this year, and that was Michael King. Or this offseason, I should say. They replaced one of those guys. King was that one guy that they have put into this Padres rotation. Now they've got 2 more that they've got to do. Maybe the Padres say, no, we believe in Pedro Avila and Matt Waldron. We only have to replace one. But we know that you don't get through a season with 5 starters. No team does that. Doesn't happen. There's injuries. That's just what baseball is. It's a long grind of a season. So you need more depth than that. And it's not even Christmas yet. There's still time. But it seems like every day that passes here, Tyler Glasnow traded to the Dodgers. Waka signs. Lugo gone. Martinez gone. Tyler Mahle just signed. Jack Flaherty just signed with the Tigers. I wasn't going to give Jack Flaherty that much money, but that's just the way it is in free agency now. Like, the market is so good to these free agent starters. Even if you have a bad year, a team is willing to overpay you for 1 year because it's 1 year. I don't know if you've heard this saying, but there's no such thing as a bad 1-year deal. And that's how teams like the Tigers are thinking right now with someone like Jack Flaherty. So the Padres, I think they have to realize you're going to have to spend. If it's a 1-year deal, you're still going to have to spend over $10 million on a starter, probably. Like, regardless of who it is, unless it's someone that, like, didn't pitch really last year. That's just what it is. If there's any upside in him, a team's going to give him $10+ million. So you're going to have to spend. That's why I'm leaning towards the Padres. They're going to make some trades here. Because if you trade for guys, and I'm assuming it's not going to be like the Corbin Burns, Shane Biebers of the world. You trade for someone, it's controllable, and that's where you can see the salary not be $14 million a year for Jack Flaherty, right? So we'll see, but more guys continue to fly off the board, and the rotation right now is what? Musgrove, Darvish, King, Avila and Waldron, is that who it would be? Put Morahone as an option, I guess, but you can't rely on him to pitch all season long. Doesn't stay healthy. So, Drew Thorpe doesn't seem like he's going to be ready for the beginning of the 2024 season at the big league level. So arms are going to be needed, and maybe AJ is cooking up something that we're not even thinking about. Probably is. But I definitely understand Padres fans, the frustration when you keep seeing names come off the board, and you could have had Michael Wacha for the deal that he just signed with the Kansas City Royals, but they decided not to.